please to open the following link. Open it, please. So, because United States, it's a very big country, it has different weathers and seasons. In Guatemala, we only have 2 seasons. We have winter and summer. In South America, you have more seasons, right? The fall, spring, summer, and winter, right? And United States has different time zones because the people need to survive to the weather, right? Imagine that in winter, they have a different schedule than in summer and in other parts of the year. So that's basically a time zone. And we have at least 9 in United States. But if you see this chart right here, you will see the difference between your schedule and the time zone in United States. We have 4 generalized or main time zones of United States, and is Pacific time, Mountain time, Central time, and Eastern time, okay? For example, here in Guatemala, it's 15 with 35 minutes, 3 p.m. with 35 minutes. But according to the time zone, Pacific time, we are in Guatemala 1 hour forward, right? Because it is 14 with 19 minutes in Pacific time. Mountain time, we have almost the same schedule, the difference of a few minutes. Central time, in Guatemala, we are 1 hour backwards. It's 4 with 19 in Central time. In Guatemala, 15 with 36 minutes. Eastern time, we are almost in the same schedule, but the difference is 2 hours. They have 2 hours forward. Right? It's 5 p.m. there. So if you want to know what states includes the Pacific time, the Mountain time, the Central, and the Eastern time, you just need to click right here to see, right, what zones are affected by this schedule. For example, California, Idaho, Nevada, Oregon, Washington. And in this case, yeah. For example, if we want to know what about the Mountain time, you just click it, right? And you will see what states are using this time zone. Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, Montana, New Mexico, Nebraska, North Dakota, Oregon, of course, Utah, yeah, Mountain time. So why should we know about the time zones? Let's imagine that you are working for a company, right? Let's go to the whiteboard here. You are working for a company, all right? This is the place where you work. So this company, it's from United States. all right? And let's imagine that the company where you work, it's a company with promotions. You'll get 50% of discount if you call us now. And the offer, it's available from 3 p.m. to 12. I guess it's a.m. 12 a.m. Central time. Okay. So what happens if I live in Utah? Do I have the same schedule? No. Do I have the same time zone? No. So when you are talking with a customer and the customer is calling from another state and they are asking for this promotion, what will happen at 11 p.m.? Probably they will lose the promotion, right? Because most of the time, or there are a few people who called when the promotion is over. So they will tell you, hey, but I didn't know about the promotion because you didn't tell me that it was in Central Time. Oh, you didn't read the instructions of the promotion. Oh, yes, I am from Pacific Time, so that's why maybe I lost it. And that happens a lot of times. For example, if you work for another company, a company of packages, time of delivery, approx 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern time. Eastern time. What happened if, for example, I am in another, in another state, and I am sending this package to my mother? What will happen is that my mother will be out of the house waiting for the package. And because my time zone is different, my mother will not know exactly at what time she will need to pick the package, right? So that helps us in the future, of course, when you get a job, to guide the customer according to the time zone they are calling us. Does it make sense? Is that clear? Be careful, right? Because if I ask you as a customer, what time do you open your stores? Or what time are your stores open? And you said, yes, we are open at 8 a.m. And what happened if you live in, let's see, in Central Time? We have Florida. I live in Florida, but the store is not in Florida. The store is, for example, in let's see, in Georgia. Yeah. So Georgia is Eastern Time. Florida is Central Time. You see? So for that reason, I need to know what time is for them. Because for Eastern Time is 1 hour backwards or 2 hours backwards. And so this customer will be at 6 a.m., right? Or they will tell you, are you sure? Is that Central Time? Oh, no, this is Eastern Time. Okay, thank you so much. And that's all. You need to specify, just in case that you have the opportunity to share schedules, share appointments, right? For example, if you work for a company of insurance, medical insurance, right? Yeah, let's imagine that you work for a medical insurance company. Medical insurance. And you will tell to Mr. Brown, who has 80 years old, who is 80 years old. Oh yes, you know, your appointment with the doctor, it's at 10 a.m. But you didn't specify the time zone, Central Time. So if they are from another state, they will be late. That will be a problem. Or they will be so early. And believe it or not, it happens a lot of time. So that's why when you apply for a job, you will get like 1 month or a few weeks of training, and they will clarify what you need to say to the customers. Questions? Brian?
What is the time for the time? What is the name for the time of Alaska?
Alaska, it should be...
Because Alaska is so far, and
You
even
mean,
it's an state, or Hawaii.
you mean the time zone for Alaska?
Yeah, or the name of the time zone.
I think it's Mountain Time. Let me check.
Because it's Alaska, Anchorage is 4 hours less than here in Colombia.
Hmm. Oh, they are actually Pacific time zone. Let me go check. Yeah. So Hawaii has its own time zone, which is Hawaii Standard Time. And there is another variation of that, that is the daylight time. Hawaii has its own time zone. Alaska has a daylight one, but it is in the Pacific time list for one reason. But you mean the country or the state?
The state.
Let's see. According to this document, it's 1 hour behind the Pacific time zone. So if the Pacific time zone here in Guatemala, it's 1 hour, it's 2 p.m. with 49 minutes. It should be 1 p.m. 1 hour, yeah, behind. That's the Alaska time zone observed now. And there are variations of the time zones, specifically when we talk about daylight saving. And we will read what is a daylight saving. Let's go to the screen here, and I will ask to Marlon. Can you help me to read daylight saving? Marlon, are you there? We lost him. Let's see, Andres, can you help me to read this paragraph?
Yes, Daylight Saving Time (DST) is the practice of setting the clocks forward 1 hour from Standard Time during the summer months, and back again the fall, in order to make better use of natural daylight.
Very good. So daylight saving time includes that we will work 1 hour forward than the shift that we accepted to work. And I will explain you later how it works, but let's see. Let's read the northern hemisphere, okay, and the southern hemisphere. Let's see, Pedro, can you help me to read northern hemisphere, please?
North Hemisphere, North America, Central America, Europe, Asia, Northern Africa. Many countries in the Northern Hemisphere, north of the Equator, use DST in the summertime, but not all. Daily saving time usually starts in March, April, and ends in September, November, when the countries return to standard time or winter time, as it also known.
Okay, so as we read at the beginning, daylight saving, it's 1 hour forward of the time that we have in our countries, right? If you live in North America, Central America, usually this daylight saving starts in March and April and ends in September of November. This will depend on how the company needs and will organize this kind of schedule for the employees. It will depend. Some companies don't observe the daylight saving time for one reason. So some southern hemisphere, please help me to read Candy.
Okay, 13th hemisphere. Australia, New Zealand, Mozart, South America, Southern Africa. In the southern hemisphere, south of the equator, the participant countries usually start the DST period in September, November, and end DST in March, April.
So the difference is when it starts and when ends. For example, South America, right, usually starts in September and ends in March and April. So how this works? For example, let's imagine that you apply for a job, okay? Let's imagine that you apply for a job. And you say, okay, I want to work from Monday to Friday. I want to work from Monday to Friday, starting at 8 a.m. and finish my shift at 4 p.m. Because at 5, I need to go to college. I have my English lesson, my Portuguese lesson, my French lesson, or I have to do something at church, etc. You need to think that in a specific time of the year, you will work 1 hour forward. That means that your shift will start at 9 a.m. and finish at 5 p.m. Starting from March and finishing on September, for example, or starting from September and finishing on March. This will depend in how the company would like to do it. In the company's need. For example, if you applied for a job and this job, your schedule is from 10 a.m. and finish at 6 p.m. In daylight saving, you will start at 11 and finish at 7. So if the last public bus pass at 6, probably you will need to take another transportation, right? Because you will be working, your shift will finish at 7. If you have college at 6, right? And during daylight saving, your shift will finish at 7. And it will depend in how good you are in the work to ask for a permission, right? There are some cases where your supervisors and managers are cool and they say, well, okay, if you're studying, I can give you the authorization to start your shift earlier and finish it later. But it will depend. I will not assure you that that will be the case, because what happens if you are 1 hour before the calls start to come? You will be 1 hour chilling, right? And believe me that in a call center environment, that's not very good. That's not a very good thing to do, right? It's an environment where you need to work every hour of the year, every hour of the day. So that's basically